Hey, I'm James Michael,
I am Nikki Sixx.
And I'm DJ Ashba.
and we are 6 a.m., and you are listening to Morgan Richards on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM.
Hey, I'm Morgan Richards from Radio Cardiff on 98.7 FM, and I'm very pleased to say that I'm backstage at the Download Festival here. I'm joined by a man who, despite being a multi-platinum producer, songwriter, and mixer, is still managing to rise up for the praise of the damned. It's, of course, the wonderful Mr. James Michael of 6am.
How are you, man? Nice to see you.
You too. How are you, James?
I am fantastic. This is going to be a day that I remember probably for the rest of my life. It's my first time not only playing at Download, but being at Download. I've been hearing about this festival for so long, and it's a dream come true, and we just had a fantastic set. And, I'll never forget this.
Yeah, so things are pretty good.
Oh my God, things couldn't be better. We're out right now basically touring the world, and it's really the first time that 6am has done extensive touring. The reality is this: we've been together now almost 10 years. Next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of the Heroin Diaries soundtrack, and back then we didn't even know if we were a band. When we made that record, we didn't even have a band name. And when you look at what's happened since then, here we are we just released our 4th studio album. We have a 5th studio album coming out later on this year, and we've got a lot of touring coming up. So things have really just exceeded all of our expectations for 6am, and we couldn't be happier. We are having the time of our lives.
So, James, as you just mentioned, the main thing for you and 6am as of late has been working very hard behind the scenes on your new double album series, Prayers of the Damned, splitting it into 2 parts, just releasing the first volume now. I bet it's just been great getting this new music out together and touring intensely with it feeling a new chapter for the band, having so many plans and material still yet to come.
It's really true. I think that something that music fans probably aren't aware of is that the anticipation that they feel when one of their bands, a band that they follow, is getting ready to release a record. They're excited to hear the new music. They can't wait. They're trying to get their ears on it. It's the same way for us. We spent 9 months in the studio writing and recording both of these records, and so the day that we get to release it to the public is one of them. It's like Christmas for us. It's so exciting, especially now with social media, because you can get instant feedback. As soon as you put that record out, as soon as you put that single out, you get to start communicating with your fans and getting their reaction. And we are very lucky to be able to be making music in these times, with technology where it is, with streaming, and with all of these different basically platforms where you can put your music out and get it in the hands of the people. So it's really thrilling. We're chomping at the bit to release Volume 2, which hopefully will come out in the fall, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to see people's reactions to that one.
And with your trusted bandmates Nikki Sixx and DJ Ashba being so busy with Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses in recent years, is it in a way somewhat refreshing for you that they haven't got the distraction of other bands now, and that this is their main music project?
Yes, for all 3 of us it is. As they've been out touring the world doing that, I've been producing a lot of records and spending a lot of time in the studio. And last year, when it became clear that Motley Crue was going to be winding down, the 3 of us sat down and we said, let's focus on 6am full time. I made the commitment to kind of put producing on the back burner for a bit. DJ left Guns N' Roses. Nikki wound down Motley Crue. And it's been so exciting for us because it's changed the dynamic of this band for the better. And so these 2 records, Volume 1, Prayers for the Damned, which we've just released, is the first record that we've made knowing that we're going to be a band, knowing that we're going to be out touring. So it changed how we wrote and record these songs. We really designed both of these records to be performed live. And it has been very refreshing, to answer your question. It's been, well, first off, we're best friends. The 3 of us are. And it's been heartbreaking for us to not be able to get out and tour. It's been heartbreaking for our fans. And I think that what people need to realize is that we're as excited about this as anyone is, because now we get to spend so much time hanging out as friends. And the byproduct of that is we get to keep on making 6am music.
And going back to Praise of the Damned, Nicky for one has stated that these are some of the heaviest and darkest songs he's ever worked on, touching a lot of passionate subjects for you all. During the writing process, creatively, did it just so much come out that you just had to split it into 2 albums?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about that is this. Sixx AM has always dealt with very heavy subject matter, even from the very beginning with Life is Beautiful from the Heroin Diaries soundtrack. I think that's something that has become expected of us, and we expect that of ourselves. We don't write light songs. We take on heavy subject matter, and we find the hope within those heavy subjects. So that's not unfamiliar territory for us, but I do believe that we really turned it up a notch on this record. On both of these new records, because, you know, again, like I said, we knew that we were going to be performing these live, so we needed it to have a real aggressive, heavy energy to them. There's always that hope, you know, even songs like Rise, our first single, it's very empowering, and it's really resonating with our fans because it's reminding people that everyone has a voice and everyone can make a difference. And, you know, we try to do that. We try to empower people, whether it's, you know, dealing with songs about, you know, bullying like we dealt with on This Is Gonna Hurt with Lies of the Beautiful People, or songs like Skin, which has really resonated with people worldwide, just about, you know, how people sometimes feel inadequate, and it's just a way of saying to people, listen, everyone feels inadequate. Nobody feels like they're good enough, but you are, and you are who you are, and be proud of that. So it's always been important to us to speak to people on that level, and I think that, like I said, our fans have grown to expect that from us, and that's what we do. That's all we know.
And James, just a couple more very quick things now before you go. Of course, you personally have been a record producer and songwriter with all sorts of names in the business, from the likes of Meatloaf to Papa Roach, Kelly Clarkson, and so many more. Has being able to do that and establish yourself so successfully on that side of things given you a whole new love and appreciation away from your own music and fronting bands?
Yeah, you know, there are some vast differences between the two. Obviously, being a producer and being a performer in some ways are the exact opposite. Being a producer, you have to be a perfectionist. You have to you have to do it until it's right, because it's going to last forever, and you need to make sure it's right, so it can be a very arduous task. Being a performer, you only get to do it once, and if your voice cracks or you sing flat, you just have to accept that. But the neat thing about it is that the fans, when you go to a live show like this, the fans aren't expecting perfection, they're expecting passion. So the challenge is really taking off the producer hat and putting on the performer hat and being comfortable within that. And it is an adjustment, you know. It takes a couple of weeks being out on the road to go, oh yeah, that's right, it's okay if my voice cracks, or it's okay if we hit the wrong note here, or whatever. As long as you're being honest and you're being passionate about it, that's what the fans want.
And of course, now you're just going to be extremely busy for the rest of the year promoting these new Sixx albums and touring. But what else can we really expect from you guys now in the near future?
Well, yes, we're going to be going out in the fall with Five Finger Death Punch and Shinedown. We're going to do an arena tour in the fall, and then I believe we've got plans. I believe we got plans to come back to Europe at the beginning of next year. You know, that's the beauty of having 2 records coming out in the same year. It gives you a lot of opportunity to go out and tour, and then go back around and tour again. But I'll tell you what, we're already writing the next record after Volume 2. So we're already, you know, we're in a very, very, very creative stage of our lives, and every single day we're writing new music. So it's a very inspired and a very creative time for Sixx AM.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Well, that's about it.
Awesome.
Cheers, James, for taking time out to have a quick chat with me.
Thank you, man. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, well, my pleasure.
Awesome.
Best of luck now with everything in the future, and hopefully we can catch up with you again very soon.
I hope so.